I am.
All right. Okay, Tim, we are ready to go, and I'll email you the sign-in sheet.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Tim Voss, and I'm the chair of the Historic Conservation Board. I'd like to take a minute to remind everyone about the rules of this proceeding. This proceeding is at all times governed by the rules of procedure adopted by the board on September 26, 2011, amended March 23rd, 2015, last amended March 9th, 2020. A copy of the rules of procedure is available for review online. All those planning to testify today, which does not include those solely making arguments such as attorneys, will be asked to take an oath administered by the board's attorney when they testify. This is a quasi-judicial hearing. As such, the board reserves the right to deliberate in private. Though how rules of evidence do not apply to this hearing, however, professional rules of conduct do apply, and candor to the tribunal is required. The board members are citizen volunteers and are not paid for their service. They are treated as public officials under Ohio law, and any attempt to influence them, including but not limited to bribery, intimidation, retaliation, which may include contacting their employer in an attempt to exert influence, is punishable as a crime. All should be aware that this meeting is being tape recorded. Therefore, please speak clearly into your microphone and state your name and address for the record. In the event of any technical difficulties with this video conferencing technology, I may continue or postpone this hearing at my discretion. All participants providing testimony must have both camera and audio features turned on in order to participate. With that, we'll proceed to our first item. Ms. Johnson, 1808 Elm Street.
Yes. 1808 Elm Street is in the Over the Rhine Historic District. It is on Elm Street, just north of Findlay Market, and just across the alley from the Leader Building. So it's this little 3-story building right here. The applicant is seeking a certificate of appropriateness for a recessed roof deck, rehabilitation of the building, as well as a roof addition on the rear. No zoning relief is required for their request. The existing building is mid-block just north of Findlay Market. The building is a 3-story facade building with a commercial storefront and 2 upper stories that were originally residential but have been vacant for approximately 20 years. The applicant is proposing to do a recessed roof deck at the front, whereas the cornice would be the front railing, a new storefront with a traditional design, to remove the bridge between the that goes over the alleyway. So there's this little bridge that connects the Leader Building to the building in question. New windows throughout, a new door on the side and the rear, and and then a large door on the side. An addition on the attic floor towards the rear to allow for additional living space, and then the recessed roof deck at the 4th level. So this side view shows you where the new, so kind of where all that brick is shown is what the new addition would be. And so it's basically kind of filling in this rear, which is currently just a 3-story, to basically make the 4th story more complete to allow for more living space. Zoning wise, with density, again, they are fine with density, and the use as a bakery is permitted on the 1st floor. Some of the other additions are to add a door here to allow for better circulation on the interior, as well as for code egress, to have a Dutch door here for deliveries. And then on the rear, currently there are kind of industrial-esque type windows that were not original. And so they are requesting to put in, to put in kind of paired windows that are more contextual to the building and to the district rather than the industrial windows at the addition, to make those full-size windows, as well as to have a garage door at the 1st floor for deliveries for the bakery. So all of the changes staff is supportive of. The new doors on the side are for circulation and for code purposes for the bakery. None of these changes or additions to any of the doors on the side or the rear affect the architectural integrity of the of the historic building. The overhead door on the rear is in an area that there's already been some infill and adjustments to. This is, again, an appropriate use or appropriate change to the building to accommodate the new use in the building. It is on the rear, and so it will not be visible from the street facade. While it will be slightly visible because of the parking lot, there are other garage doors around Findlay Market as well. The current storefront is a non-contributing storefront that has had changes. And so the proposed storefront is in keeping with the historic building, as well as has that typical three-part traditional storefront design with the knee wall storefront glass, transoms, and an awning. And the entrances will be recessed, which is both historically appropriate as well as needed for code reasons and DOTE. The addition on the side, again, staff feels is appropriate. It is architecturally appropriate. The changes with adding the windows are the same size. And while there is a change to the roof line will still remain slightly sloped, and so will not overall change the roof line or roof character of the building. The roof deck is recessed into the roof, and this cuts into the slope of the roof while leaving the edges to retain the original roof shape. The deck will be accessed from a new opening on the attic level, and an addition won't be needed for that. The cutout of the roof deck will not be highly visible from the public right of way. And then the demolition of the skywalk is removing an inappropriate and non-significant portion of the building. The two buildings that the skywalk connects are no longer functionally connected and are under different ownership. So staff does recommend approval of a certificate of appropriateness for the proposed addition, roof deck, and exterior rehabilitation submitted by Platt Architecture and Design, dated 1/28/2022, with the following condition: that the building permit must be issued within 2 years or the COA shall expire.
Thank you very much. All right, that was very informative. Cassandra, I have 3 people, but none of them are checked in. Do we have people here?
They're all 3 here.
Okay,
And then I did have somebody join us that I wasn't on the list, a Trenton Bradford.
Yeah, that's with Platt Architecture and Design. He's on our team.
Okay, thank you.
all right. With that very nice presentation by Ms. Johnson, what does the applicant have to add? Does somebody want to speak on behalf of the applicant?
Yeah, Sam, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, we don't really have
Beth-
anything.
Beth covered it really well for us.
Okay,
Yeah,
question?
sorry, I wasn't sure if you meant the building owner, but I agree with that. Yeah.
sorry. Questions for the staff or the applicant from the board? Absent that, I will entertain a motion.
Do we have, is Mark Fromeyer's, this is part of the applicant team, right? Just want to make sure.
He's
Okay.
the building owner. Yes.
The owner.
Okay.
Do I have anybody here to make a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion that we approve the certificate of appropriateness and zoning relief as laid out by staff.
Second.
No zoning relief.
Sorry. Got
That's all right.
carried away.
All right. I appreciate it. We have a motion and a second. I don't know who's here. Mr. Sunderman? Ms. Smith-Dobbins?
Yes.
Ms. McKenzie?
Yes.
Mr. Weiss?
Yes.
Mr. Zelasco? The chair votes aye. I'm very excited. I love the bread. All right. Ms. Johnson, do we have anything else on our agenda today?
No, but we do, if you guys would adjourn the meeting, we do have a quick announcement to make that we'd just like to make off the record.
I will move that we adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.